What a day it's been so far. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for Game 4 of EG versus Na'Vi. Demon playing for Na'Vi Gods. He's been playing quite well these past 2 games, and on the back of their games 2 and 3 victories, Na'Vi are now 1 win away from moving on into the playoffs.
Yeah, playoff berth. They'll be going up against Empire in the first round, should they advance, or whoever does advance here. Your other winner brackets semi-final for the playoffs is going to be Team Liquid up against Alliance. So both those 2 matches are not tomorrow, but the day after. So the playoffs, WePlay Dota 2 action, it's going to all conclude by the end of this week. I think the grand finals is scheduled for Friday.
Yeah, it's a double elimination 4-team playoff bracket. Alliance, Empire, and Liquid already into the final round. Empire as well as Liquid will be your 1 seeds. Alliance plus whoever wins this series will be your 2 seeds, and well, that'll be played out over the next 5 days or so. But guys, let's hop into the draft. It's well underway. It's time for Game 4, and the teams, once again, it's late for Na'Vi. They're picking quickly here, so we started with a first pick Troll Warlord for EG. Na'Vi quickly snap up the Lifestealer, the Darkseer. EG go back for the Chen, which at some points has been banned this series, and I actually like this one ban from EG, which is the Bounty Hunter ban in particular.
Yeah, this is something which Na'Vi have been picking out a lot. Not often in the first stage of the picks, but EG decide, hey, we've got first pick. We can actually ban out heroes which aren't necessarily like your top first priority heroes, so it leaves the pool a lot more open. EG opted to go for the Troll rather than the Lifestealer, though, and Na'Vi were never going to let them get both Troll and Lifestealer. We've seen that combo win both Game 1 as well as Game 2. So we get the Darkseer, though. Darkseer we haven't seen in a while. Na'Vi have not been picking it much as of late, at least not in this series, or the series before against Liquid.
Yeah, it's a hero that's just kind of fallen off. I guess he is ultimately an offlaner that lacks any true lockdown, whereas you look at like a Clockwork, a Batrider, they're a little bit better at finding those solo kills. Darkseer much more of a team fight specialist, and we've seen teams really shy away from your heroes like Jakiro that combo nicely with him. So Na'Vi will go back to it this time around. Pretty tanky lineup. Even your Bane, very hard to bring down, but I like EG's draft a lot better in terms of compared to the past few games because they haven't given away Bounty Hunter, and we've just seen the way EG likes to play is like very stable and slow and not as explosive as Na'Vi. So limit that explosive capability, ban the Bounty Hunter, and then angle for a mid-game, late-game, where if it's close, you can just count on your team being a little bit safer and not making too many mistakes.
It was definitely key for Na'Vi, and even looking at that game through, that Bounty Hunter got crushed in his lane. 1v1, he got completely outlast hit. Then Fear rotated in with Dust, and they kill him 2 times, even 3 times in the first 10 minutes of the game. But Bounty Hunter still was such an important hero just strategically for Na'Vi in that game that it's well worth banning out.
The big question is, what's Dendi going to play? And EG say, not a Puck, which is the most fearsome partner. Now, the other hero that Na'Vi likes to run in combination with Lifestealer is, of course, well, above all else, the Storm Spirit for Dendi. But can they get away with the Storm mid this game? Not the best matchup versus a Razor in the lane.
Yeah, I guess there's a chance it's going to be the Troll Warlord mid lane. Either way, it's not the best for a Storm Spirit.
But you can send Bane mid and offer a little help, but then you could also see EG just smoke ganking with this Chen very early.
They would have preferred the Puck, and that's why EG banned it out. They know that the Storm Spirit's slightly easier to deal with. At the same time, the laning stage maybe not great, but come mid to late game time, there's not really much disable or lockdown to deal with the Storm Spirit. So I think Na'Vi could still very likely consider as maybe the best hero for Dendi in the mid lane.
And we know with Na'Vi that, well, actually
Invoker!
Invoker!
Here we go!
So we saw this earlier today. Oh god, who was it? With Crosswex Invoker. Were you casting with me?
I was not, but I remember seeing a replay with an Invoker.
Winter. It was IG 430 was playing Invoker today. That's right.
Oh, wow.
Ferrari 430 played Invoker. He was against Troll, and he got destroyed mid. He went Exhort build. He started with Blades of Attack. He still got Outlast hit. He got completely crushed, but he went for a catch-up Midas. Got his phase boots up, and late game he had an Aghanim Scepter, phase boots, and a couple of other big items. I think he ended the game with like a Scythe device. Had a huge impact. So
often you go for like the Darkseer Jakiro AoE 1 combo, but Darkseer into Invoker AoE spam is fantastic.
Deafening Blast,
and even just
gonna be good.
The laning stage, you've got Nightmare to set up Sunstrikes, you've got CM Frostbite, you've got Open Wounds to help provide a slow as well. So there's a lot. I mean, it's almost guaranteed to be an Exalt build. Quaswex Invoker is just a relic of the past. You can't really go anymore.
Dendi's never really liked the Quaswex build that much. I haven't seen him go that in, I mean, it's at least like a year and a half, I feel like. Way back, well, at least close to a year, like back when they nerfed the Quaswex build. So, with that being said, guys, the draft is complete. As for EG, they round things out with a support that they favor more so than most other teams. They go for a Vengeful Spirit here. Nice hero to have against the Lifestealer, as well as anyone who just gets slept and they're setting up for a Sunstrike. Swap them out. Maybe you save your support. Get somebody out of the cogs if Universe doesn't want to be in there, like if he's trapped with the Lifestealer. So, and a good pushing support. They're on the dire side. They can maybe go for Roche early. So, all in all, EG going with more or less what seems to be their new bread and butter.
Yeah, they seem to be not entirely recycling the same rosters, lineups. They are going for like different little deviations every time, but it's a similar set of core heroes for them. I like the Vengeful Spirit pickup. In the past, they've been picking up more like Jakiro as well as even Witch Doctor for Vogue, but we'll see a Vengeful Spirit here, and that's a useful hero to have against Lifestealer for the swap, and just in general, swap does give you a lot of just utility throughout the mid to late game.
Okay, we're going to have a quick pause and then an even quicker resume. It looks like at least both teams have said go. Nobody hasn't paused yet, but we'll introduce the teams while we're waiting. So we'll start with the team that's up 2-1 in this best of 5, needing only one more game to move on into the Final Four and into that double elimination playoff bracket. Dendimon going to be playing your Invoker, likely heading mid, likely going Exhort build. Can't wait to see how this unfolds. Funnick on his off-lane Darkseer, last seen terrorizing his opponents at the International 3. Puppy, support Crystal Maiden extraordinaire. Kuroki, your support Bane. And then, well, safe lane, it's this guy right here. The Demon Army out in full force in the chat. Yeah. He's been filling in pretty decently for Havost, I gotta say.
Yeah, the last 2 games especially. Game 1 on Earthshake, it played pretty well. Got caught out once or twice unnecessarily, but all in all, Demons had a fantastic series. He's up against his former teammates. Team Evil Geniuses on the dire side. Fog going to be playing the support Vengeful Spirit. Universe on the offlane Clockwork. Jeo, the carry Razor. Troll Warlord being played by MSS in the middle lane. Then finally, it's going to be Fear on the Chen, jungling it up.
And my eyes are really on MSS this game because, as you pointed out, he struggled again those 1v1 matchups against Dendi. He did pretty well in the first game, but games 2 and 3 fell far behind, had trouble catching up. And this is a good sign. He's dancing, so he's obviously feeling relaxed and not too stressed out here. We'll see if it works out, though. As for Dendi, it starts with the Null Talisman, which I've actually seen XY do this and then go for Quas Wex from Zenith, but Dendi already Exhort. He's going Quas Exhort.
Yes.
Lots of plus damage.
You need as much plus damage you can get against the Troll Warlord, who's got great base damage. You still want to harass him, even though he has the poor man's shield, as much as possible out of the lane, but this is not going to be... I'd say probably a fairly even matchup in CSing, maybe.
And this is game 4, which means this is on Europe.
Yes.
Right? So last game was on the North American servers, and EG still ended up losing that game. So obviously server is not the only factor, but in that 1v1 matchup mid, it can make a difference.
All right. So Invoker versus Troll. I mean, you said Ferrari, he struggled against the Troll and Invoker?
Yeah, he got just
going Exhort build?
Yeah, he went Exhort build. He started Blades of Attack. I think he got pulled like 1 salve or something, but
yeah,
it looks like Dendi's been pulled a bit more. So
not just Dendi being pulled, Demon as well as being pulled. Tango, Puppy pulled Tango and Salve to 2 separate heroes. He just gave his teammates almost 400 gold in regen items.
What are they gonna do when this new patch comes out? They'll be happy because they get to use their gold on themselves.
Yes, Puppy's gonna be a rich man. Like his Chen normally goes into the jungle with like just 1 smoke and 1 clarity or something, and
still finds his far.
Yeah.
Imagine when he gets to start with items.
This guy's a giver.
He's a giver, but soon he might be taking a little bit more back for himself. 6.79 should hopefully be the dawn of the support's reign of terror. We'll have a huge engagement, though. Off the bat, Jeo walks right in. This is not a good start if he ends up going out a few more right clicks. There's no surge. He's going to go down to a brain sap. And Na'Vi have had, well, yet another fantastic start to this game.
We're not expecting an offensive trial lane out of the Darkseer here. They were expecting standard lanes. Puppy's not done. He's going to find Fear as well. The Ice Shield's still there. It's going to be wearing off in a second.
Another brain sap, but I don't think they've quite enough
they need
here.
a Nightmare to kind of break the distance here, which they're not going to get. Puppy was claritying up, but his Frostbite not quite up yet. But they can hang around here. They're going to block the 30-second pull camps. Fear not going to have a big creep, and
they do miss the pull camp, but they get the block off on the big camp for the Chen. So
Fear's going home.
Does he just go offensive jungle now? Does he even just leave his lane, his jungle?
It looks like he's going to hang around here and hope to get this big... Oh, no, he's not even going to go into the jungle here. He's too afraid.
I think he's going offensive.
Meanwhile, Puppy is using Frostbite even further to start... And he's killing off the enemy pull camp using Frostbite. Kills off the level 4 Alpha Wolf. They're giving the solo XP to Funnick, who getting a fast level 2, level 3 Iron Shell does help out on. So I like this from Na'Vi. The CM Bane offensive jungle.
Yeah, it's a very interesting combo here because this is actually something we saw out of LGD International back during like even the G League where they'd go aggressive with Brax on the Darkseer and it was pretty effective at times, but something we haven't seen in a long era.
Okay. You mentioned Invoker struggles against Troll, and we're seeing that. Dendi yet to get a last hit. MSS with 5 denies already. So,
but he's taking a lot of harassment. Yep. Dendi as well is taking quite a bit, but ultimately, what happened in that game was 430 lost his lane, but he comes back with Sunstrike kills. You get a lot of experience, and you go for that comeback Midas, and like 15 minutes in, it's almost like you won your lane if things go in.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Puppey has picked up that 1 point in Arcane Aura here. Him and Kuroki killing off the big level 6 Sati, so getting decent experience as well as farm. And this is bad news for EG. Jo can't really farm all too safely at top. Well, the one lane going well for them is that solo mid-troll waller, but we're going to have to see Fear look to rotate, get some kills early. He's got a Wild Wing, which normally, like for your jungle Chen, who's just
great.
Normally it's good, but this is, like, he probably wants to gank. And to gank Wild Wing does not really help a lot.
Yeah, when you're going aggressive jungle, you don't really want to be stacking and trying to farm their camps. Like, if they rotate the Darkseer in, now you've just given him a great, really fast start. You want to be ganking that safe lane solo, or that mid solo especially, which is an Invoker. Did he already take out a Forge Spirit, which generally is a sign they're having trouble last hitting, and already MSS putting their harass out, but this will help him a bit. It can still easily be blinded by the Troll's Whirling Axes, so it's still a tough lane for him.
Okay, Dendy salving up. He's going to be okay for the time being. And
hey man, he's been caught out bottom lane. He's out of mana here.
Comes the
he
Chen.
Can't really run. He's got to keep on right-clicking. Doesn't want to dive this either. He's retreating out, but Fear's wrapping around. There's no mana for a rage. He's got a Sal, but he looks to be in trouble. There's your stomp. There's Cogs available as well. Does he want to pull him in together? There's a rage. It's not enough. Good rotation from Fear. That is exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah, Demon had a chance to back off and use his salve. He got a bit greedy there. Used his Tengu, never fully healed up, and Chen rotates him for a kill. I think Na'Vi could have maybe known that the Chen was offensive jungling because they have not seen him at all in his own jungle.
You know, looking at this Troll Invoker matchup, the other issue that I'm just realizing is Troll has 40 more move speed than Invoker when he's in melee form, which means even if you're standing at 600 range, he can just walk in and still hit you with Whirling Axes. So it might seem like you can just stay back and avoid getting hit by them, but that is not the case.
Yeah, then you're going to go for a bottle here, just knowing that he needs whatever regen he can. He's going to try to fight MSS here. Luckily for Denny, there's
turn this around. No. Already used the Cold Snap.
No Sunstrike for the time being.
Enough. New Invoker, that's a kill, because he would have 2 spells right now.
Yeah, the Sunstrike plus the Forge Spirit or whatever combo you want there. Even I guess he had Cold Snap already out. So
this is
Na'Vi going to get themselves a tier 1 top tower. They're creep skipping. They've got the 2 supports coming in. This offensive trial has worked out so surprisingly well for Na'Vi. At least I say surprisingly for myself. They obviously expected it to work.
Yeah, they did, and I mean, EG made the right adjustment with that Chen camp getting blocked and up against such a strong ganking duo in Crystal Maiden Bane. They say, Fear, let's get out of the jungle. But
nice from Dendy. He scouts out this gank. He knows there's a good chance Chen's going to be looking for a kill on him, especially when he's that low in HP. So, sends a Spirit, scouts him out, and now he knows what's going on.
Meanwhile, Fear, he's rotating through the jungle as the smoke online. He decides that gank ain't happening, but thing is, generally he can't kill Demon bottom. The only time that happens is if Universe is able to mana burn all of his mana away with the Cogs, but Demon just waits for the Cogs, stays back, and he'll be fine. Meanwhile, Dendy, now he's starting to put the hurt on MSS. Playing this matchup a little bit differently from 430. 430 was just like kind of sitting back and spamming Sunstrikes, but Dendy's relying more on Cold Snap as well as the Forge Spirits to try and harass him down.
Yeah, Dendy's going to have enough money for his boots now, which is very important against the Troll Warlord in mid lane, as well as possible Chen ganks. So, have to see what EG look to do with these supports. Fogged, we've seen absolutely nothing from. He's still level 1. He's decided, let's swing towards bottom lane, maybe try and get some kills here with the Chen.
Yeah, but meanwhile, there's a level 3 Bane and a level 3 Crystal Maiden, and they might look to make it go on top. In fact, it's a Surge into a sleep setup. There's your initiation. There's no real reaction here from EG. If they're going to be a Clockwork TP, he doesn't have one. Jo caught out up the tower, almost short of fall. He will be brought down, and Puppey will retreat out. Will Tango up. He'll be absolutely fine.
They can pressure the tier 2 now.
Meanwhile,
got a Salve.
The bottom lane, they are going in on Demon. They get off the Magic Missile. They've got a Troll Trap here, but he's level 6. He goes right into the Chen creep. Fear going to send him back. No, he infests out too quickly. Fear's arms were raised, I think, to send him home.
No, he didn't have the mana.
Oh, he didn't have mana. Yeah. Well, he was trying to cast a spell of some kind.
Yeah.
Man, that was such a fun moment when Havos got sent back.
Yeah.
How appropriate would it be if Demon got sent back as well, standing in for Havos?
JO's back top, but Funnick is still creep skipping here. He's got the Iron Shell. I'm going to force JO back, and EG can't rotate here. Who's actually going to TP in?
Level 1 bench? It's not happening.
Yeah. Your Troll Warlord is probably the only hero who could maybe come, but he's still distracted mid against Dendy, so...
Well, or the Clockwork, but Universe, no TP scroll yet. He can't even get to the side shop right now, and this courier's needed for Bottle Crowing.
This is a Darkseer Crystal Maiden Bane tri lane pushing a tier 2 tower. Only in the offensive tri lane can you do this, because of the creep skipping and because of like this offensive jungle they're doing. They're just catching EG by surprise with this laning setup.
Yeah, like if you're Radiant, what Gods is saying, and you try to creep skip here, it's just there's so little room between the towers, and creep skipping here is just like a death trap if they TP and sandwich you in, but... and when you're on your offensive tri-lane, there's lots of ways to retreat and angles to go from. So they'll rotate Fog top, but really, what is this Vengeful Spirit going to do?
Level 1
in a lot of trouble. Oh, the sleep setup was almost there.
Yeah.
This is this is a disaster. Even Fear's got to come in, but he's not jungling, he's not ganking, and he's not leveling. Nothing really going well, aside from the middle lane, but middle lane's not pretty even, God.
They decide they have to go for a kill here. I think they're looking for Dendi here with this smoke. Chen and Vengeful Spirit.
It's not even a good creep to gank it with.
It's becoming like one of these must-get kills. Not because they need to shut down Dendi, just because their heroes need farm as well as levels.
Yeah, the levels especially. MSS taking a lot of damage here to the Forge Spear. Does Dendi get off any more nukes? Tries to throw out a Sunstrike. Can't do so. Is there going to be a buyback initiation? No, nothing yet. They do sleep Fear. It's quickly juggled off onto Fog. Now Fog's the target. Well, he's going to go down, but give away your level 1 support. I guess that's a bit better. Level 2, after that gank, there's an Infest. Pop back out from Demon. And he joins the fight, and oh boy.
7 minute
mech.
Not even a naked mech. He's got in a Soul Ring as well as boots with this. All from all that tower gold he's getting in. Surge in. He wants to pressure Jayo here in the top lane. Going to force Jayo all the way back home. And Funnick may even get this kill. I don't think Jayo can survive this.
Yeah, unless he jukes perfectly. In comes some support from Fear. Test the face there, but the vacuum brings it back. It's going to be close. Down to the wire, but not with the mech. The mech makes it not nearly as close as what it normally would be. Now they Frostbite Fear, and they'll just retreat out.
Yeah, Funnick out of mana. He can Soul Ring here, but he needs to be careful because he is so low in HP.
Dendi heading out bottom. He has gone Gloves of Haste, and do expect this to be a Midas. Get those levels up. And this is where, even if he lost his lane badly mid, which ultimately was actually pretty even, you could still catch up and even be ahead as that Invoker.
Yeah, I've seen
Also, look at this ward for Puppy.
God, this is just
super
absurd. Aggressive. I've seen Invoker guides say, like, don't get Midas if you can't get before 6 minutes, but I don't think that's true at all.
Top lane, they have found Puppy. He will pay for his insolence. Very aggressive ward, but he bought everything. Smoke and the Magic Wand. Meanwhile, in the jungle, MSS gets swept up and will retreat out.
It may only be 4 kills to 3 right now, but Na'Vi with a clear edge here. 5k gold advantage, and the experience as well, not quite as big, because EG's still getting a few kills here and there as well as laning okay, but Na'Vi are just getting towers and just far better farm than their opponents here in EG.
It seems like both of these games, it's just either slight execution errors from EG or just Na'Vi catching them by surprise with the lanes, which this game was a surprising way to lane it, at least to EG. Clearly they were caught off guard by it. And you look at the other game and it was just EG went for that dive at the tower, but just slightly off with their chain stun. And the fight ends up turning around. Lion gets off 2 Impales. Crystal Maiden gets off 2 Novas. And well, it looks like an easy first blood for EG. It was a very difficult 2 deaths for them.
Yeah, it looks like Na'Vi happy to back things off now. There's nothing really they can do in top lane now they're pushed out so far. So they can just go back to their own jungle and look to farm both middle as well as bottom lane. They've got the jungle. Funnick, he's farming a big neutral stack here. The thing is, Funnick not as high level as he'd normally be because he was in a tri-lane, but the CM Bane also, only level 4, level 5, so 10 minutes in the game, Na'Vi probably want to get a level 6 on their Bane before they start thinking about getting aggressive again, going for some more towers.
Yeah, they want to catch up and get some key levels, but still, the level advantage is not even close. All 3 of their cores topping the charts here, and that's before the Midases come out. Dendi's is not far off. Demon could go back for one. He could just pick up the drums as well, either way, but regardless, they are going to be very far ahead.
Yeah, Demon's slightly less reliant on those levels, but I think Midas not a bad option, just maybe wants to get the armlet as soon as possible.
Yeah, either way, definitely feasible. It just depends more on how Na'Vi want to play this game.
And Dendi, I mean, you mentioned, his Midas not going to be coming out for 11, 12 minutes, but whatever time you get your Midas Invoker, it's either like, hey, you're ahead, we're going to snowball harder, or hey, I'm behind, I'll catch up using it. Invoker's all about the levels.
Yeah, unless you're able to punish the Midas and immediately force fights, then you have an Invoker as a Midas and boots and just isn't useful. But with the kind of start EG has, they'll be very hard-pressed to even gank anyone, let alone go all the way to the enemy safe lane. When this top lane is just completely exposed, someone's got to be here to protect Jayo.
Yep.
And who's it going to be?
No one for the time being. He's got phase boots up at base. He needs these out right now because Funnick can almost go for a solo kill here if he wants to. And he's going to think about this. Jayo.
Oh,
level 2 vacuum, and
you could get the solo kill with ease as long as Jayo isn't able to get away from already the Iron Shell thrown out, and Jayo's starting to steal damage, but Funnick doesn't need the right clicks. He just needs to keep on burning him to bits with this Iron Shell. Wall is dropped, vacuum is dropped. Actually, the wall slightly left the mark, but a few more seconds. Sunstrike comes in, doesn't need it, and now Funnick, he's wasted 4 heroes time because EG sent Universe here and Fogtop, and he's going to get out.
They're looking for this kill with a hook shot here. They will get vision with a Rocket Flare. Funnick could be in some trouble. He's trying to sidestep it with a Rocket Flare vision. Misses. No TP for the time being.
Off the mark. He almost had him there, but now he's going to give them the runaround. Oh, the switcheroo from Funnick. He doesn't have a TP. Did they see? He'll make a new hiding spot for himself in the trees. He'll juke even deeper into the woods. And now he'll wait. Do they back him up, or do they just waste some time?
I think they may know he didn't have a TP scroll, but even so, this hiding spot, like, EG would just... I'd be so surprised if they guessed this one
I don't know if they even had a chance to click him, because if they did, they probably would be... This is a level 10 Darkseer. Then again, can they kill him is the question.
That's actually probably the bigger problem for EG. Is
they could end up going for him, and then if a Sunstrike comes in, then he ends up getting 2 kills and walking away to tell the tale.
Well, Na'Vi now get their level 6 on Bane here on Kuroki, and they're going to be starting to think about pushing down some more of these outer towers. That's exactly what Demon as well as Dendi are doing at the bottom lane. Lifestealer with the help of Dendi. There's your Midas, immediately pops in. This tier 1 bottom tower is undefended because, like you said, EG commits so much to that top lane.
And the Lifestealer did pick up his
grip
Midas.
on mid. They're gripping MSS.
Fiend's grip mid lane, and the Sunstrike coming in. It actually does split with the creep, so the damage, not quite enough, but a Brain Sap could do the work. No, MSS still alive, bottling up. The turnaround's going to come from Universe Defensive Sleep. Not going to save his life, but maybe enough to get the kill. No! MSS will live, and TP's out. Great reaction from him.
Okay, that's a good turnaround from EG there. I think they just got a couple uphill misses there when they gripped the troll there, because he took nowhere near as much damage as I was expecting when he got gripped there.
Yeah, and also he got the Brain Sap off, but it gave him MSS time to bottle up because he ran up onto the high ground, and it was still night at the time. So now the TP's come in middle lane. They look to turn it around. For Na'Vi, they can afford to lose some fights because they have the double Midas, but they don't want to give up too many kills.
Yeah, they've got a lot of room for error right now. They're getting lots of experience. They're building towards sort of a much more, like, not an ultra late game, but just fight. They want to fight around the 20 to 25 minute mark, or they'll fight now if EG get too aggressive and just overstep their boundaries. Because right now, EG are in such catch-up mode that they're in all sorts of trouble. They will have a mech soon on Fear, and I think EG will look to maybe group up as 5 and start taking some towers, because they're yet to get a single outer tower.
And for Na'Vi, they'll hit level 10 on Dendi soon. That means the split push gets a lot more fearsome from your double Forward Spirit. You can scout Roshan with that, which is something that we talked about. EG, they have a Vengeful Spirit and a Chen and a Troll. It's a good lineup to take Rosh early, but when your Forward Spirit's constantly scouting the pit, it becomes a lot harder to take.
Okay, well.
Also, by the way, Funnick, Mystic Staff.
Oh my god.
Straight Shiva, straight Scythe, whatever it is, he's going to have it real soon.
That's disgusting amount of farm. I'd be surprised by a straight Hex, just because, like, I think EG's way to get back in this game is going to be 5-man pushing. Mech on Chen, Vlad's on the Troll Warlord, and then they just group up as 5 and push.
Shivas would be really strong against that.
Yep. Well,
will they go for it? We'll see.
Na'Vi smoked up. Now they're looking to go into the enemy jungle, but they're going to walk on. Oh, they just managed to avoid things here. Fog going to get brought down the mid lane. Easy kill.
Here comes your Troll. The Sunstrike goes to Dendi. He gets the experience for that. Suddenly up to level 10, out-leveling MSS mid. And now the hook shot slightly off the mark from Universe. Just a hair. Not enough. And EG, despite rotating 4-5 heroes mid, they end up giving away a kill, getting nothing in return, while Funnick pushes top and Demon pushes bottom. Just Na'Vi much more efficient with their time.
Yeah, now Dendi going to start pushing mid as well, so all 3 lanes being pushed out and farmed. Funnick not looking really to push any sort of a tower here, but just farm at top lane, readily available for him.
Na'Vi now 14 minutes in. It's almost a 10k gold lead, guys. Oh, they're not done yet. They found Fear, but Funnick looking for the vacuum. It's level 4. He'll hang on to it. Doesn't really need to be diving there.
Funnick with his levels is just insane right now. Having level 11 already at this stage in the game. Maxed out Vacuum as well as Iron Shell just offers so much to Na'Vi. And now we're looking at towers going down. They take the mid tier 1 tower and, well, Na'Vi, this is looking like a possible 3-1
comeback.
Yeah, comeback. They lose game 1.
They did it convincingly, and since then it's been all Na'Vi plus Demon all the way.
Yeah. It's still fairly even on the kills, but Na'Vi up to a 10k gold lead all of a sudden. The experience, not quite as impressive, but Na'Vi, they just want to keep on applying pressure here.
And for EG, they... Oh, Sunstrike.
Nah, not going to... By the secret shop.
Okay.
I think expecting Fog to walk up that ramp, but didn't happen. MSS is invis here. He's not really the best initiator. You'd rather maybe the Clockwork have this, but you also don't really want to be fighting Na'Vi. Demon just picked up an armlet. Although he's not at this fight, he can TP in should something break out.
MSS, he gets caught out here by a cold snap. Hello, says Dendi. Surprise. Beautiful Ice Wall gets deployed. But with everybody from EG in reserve, he needs to run, and he needs to run quickly. He's got a 4-staff still available. Poke shot is going to come in. He finds out Kuroki. Can't get off a Brain Sap. Quickly melts.
Okay.
They get a nice kill, but it is a very expensive kill with 5 heroes there, while Na'Vi farms everywhere else in the map.
Oh, Dendi gets caught by an ensnare here. 4 staffs away from the Centaur stun.
Just dodges the stun.
It's like you say, that's a kill on a support hero that took EG 4 heroes to get. Meanwhile, Na'Vi are farming in 2 other lanes as well as the jungle, so Na'Vi getting much more out of this.
They're going to contest this now. No Shiva's up just yet, but here comes the disaster! Vacuum, wall, Crystal Maiden, all. Dendi dropping the ice wall, and finally Demon arrives to clean up. all over EG. They're in trouble. They're on a run. A good defensive swap. Buying time and space for Jo. Can he live through it? More forward spirit damage. Another cold stab. Beautiful body block from Fear. Still, Jo's alive. The sendback's there as well. But the mech might make the difference. Another Cogs. This one maybe not so good. 3 alive. EG's going to live. But at long last with a grip, maybe they finally get a kill. Demon, Ion showed up, and then jumping into the fray. They'll finally get their first blood, and it could be a lot more from here, but his damage gets stolen. Dendi back into the fight. Out of mana, they're actually going to end up losing the Crystal Maiden. It's a 1 or 2 for 1 now, and EG are actually looking to turn this around. Demon hoofing it out of there, stops Timitus a creep. You keep on going. Fear. He comes back in, but he max. He was baiting with this. Demon low. Demon is going to go down. Jail's still alive, but he will end up falling. That's another 1 for 1, 2 for 3 overall.
Fear.
We're not done yet. Fear's going to go down. Hang on to your hats.
MSS is alone here. It looks like there's no real follow-up, though. Just a level 1 Nightmare, and Kuroki going to back off, find a haste rune, and get out of there. I think it ended up being like a 3 for 3 in no one's favor. I don't know. Either way, though, EG, this was like probably one of their strongest points to fight, because they just got the mech on Fear. They had mech as well as Hand of God, and that really saved their ass there. Without those heals, Na'Vi would have just team-wiped.
You know what? This item wasn't there last fight, though.
Shiva's Guard.
Shiva's Guard.
17 minutes in.
This item probably will just break the game, because now Dendi has great setup for his combo. He can drop the Meteor. It's not the highest level yet, but I feel like if they had just that extra AoE damage, they kill everybody on EG instantly. Instead of EG getting to use the mech, hang around, use the sendback, use the second cogs, and turn the fight a bit.
Okay,
what a game.
10 kills to 8, Na'Vi advantage, but a much, much bigger advantage than that kill score suggests. And EG in trouble here. They just need to sort of sit back, try and farm their next couple items, but they cannot just farm for too long, because it's the double minus on Na'Vi, which means they're going to be really strong. This already, I mean, as it is, they've got a Shiva's Guard on the Darkseid, but give it another 5-10 minutes, and Na'Vi are going to pull ahead by even further. So I think EG need to maybe finish just like a 4-staff on the Clockwork, but apart from that, they've got to fight as soon as possible. Once that Hand of God's back up, I think they have to go for another team fight. Yeah,
the issue for them is that they have 2 carries that are really kited easily by an Invoker. Cold Snap, Tornado, Ice Wall.
Now Shiva's Guard.
Yeah, and Razor, sure, he's a ranged hero, but he wants to be in the middle of the fight. And yeah, now the Shiva's Guard. And well, they're not going to get BKBs, which is the best way to deal with Invoker. There's basically nothing you can do against aside from right-click you, but farming a BKB for these heroes could take them, what, 5-10 minutes at the rate they're farming, which even if it took them 3 to 5, that's enough for Na'Vi to get up more items and be just at a point where it becomes an arms race that you just can't win.
It does look like EG may try and take an early Roshan. Fogged is building a medallion. They've got the Vlads coming out on the Troll, so they can sneak a Roshan here very quickly if Na'Vi aren't in position. So I think that's something that EG will be looking to go for here.
All right, so we'll have a bit of a prolonged pause here. The original reason for the pause was just that EG needed a couple of minutes, so we're going to wait that out, but...
Demon with some fighting words on the minimap.
Oh, I missed it. What do you say?
He wrote
here?
EG and there was a big X on it. Hashtag EG Slayer.
So modest, too.
He's not the first time Demon would have beaten his old team down. Happened twice in the EMS.
We're seeing a lot more hashtag motivation from him lately, gotta say.
Yeah. Unfortunately, from what I've heard is that Take 5 have somewhat disbanded, but hey, I have a feeling that it's not going to be long before he's on a new team.
I didn't Take 5 line up a lot of talented players, but never really seemed like a team that was going to stick together.
It didn't seem like a long-term thing for them. Not because of Demon's lack of motivation. Oh, yeah,
just the team in general.
Arteezy's young, he's still in school. That's why, ultimately, I think he was a big reason why he's no longer on Kaipe anymore. He has all these school obligations, and I think just a few of the other players on the team. Yeah. I mean, they were playing with stand-ins, but the second time they beat EG was with EGM as a stand-in, but the first time it was with just their normal roster. So.
Okay, guys, we're going to hop right back into it. Score 10-8, but that is very deceiving. Na'Vi up by 12k gold, 10k experience, 2-1 in the best of 5. They need one last game, which could very well be this game, and then they would move on into the Final Four. They'd be playing Empire in the first round, but Demon is the stand-in. He's done an admirable job so far. Can he finish the job? We'll wait to find out.
Okay, so as it is, Na'Vi just going to play back and a bit more passive. This is what they really, it seems to be like what sums up Na'Vi play style. Get really kind of aggressive early on, either go for a lot of early kills, or in this case, the early towers, and then once they have the advantage, they sit back, farm up a bit, and then they go for that kind of game-ending push around the 25-minute mark.
Yeah, I think the one big difference is, well, first of all, they get aggressive early. You compare that to like a speed gaming or alliance, who maybe goes for 1 or 2 ganks, but
or even
mostly
EG. I think EG play that very passive farming game too.
But yeah, but then the difference is, as soon as they feel they can end the game, like Empire, they don't hesitate. They just go for the win. Sometimes it costs them, but here comes your Fiend script. It's going to be counter though. KuroKy getting a little overzealous here, even with the brain set. He's dead to rights, and that's a costly death there. Just giving away some free gold, some free experience, and getting nothing in return.
That was an interesting little bait. I don't think it was intended so much by EG, because it was a Na'Vi ward spotting him out of the Ancients, and I think Bane is thinking, hey, look, I've got this kill with a Sunstrike plus Brain Sap with a Fiend Script. It's a kill.
But they're about to equalize the score. They're rotating top. They're going to catch out Fear here. And backup comes in tow from Dendi. The Shivas go straight onto Fog. They could end up getting 2 with Dendi coming in from the backside. Fog's low. Not dead yet, though. Funnick still giving chase. He gets cogged up. Dendi trying to turn this around. Behold the meatball. No, he hasn't summoned it yet. They're just right-clicking. Now the Deafening Blast comes out. But they've lost Funnick here. They could lose Dendi. He's got to retreat out. Hookshot already been used. MSS still giving chase. Dendi should be okay.
Yep, all the Forward Spirits, Fogged in trouble. Okay, they kill off the Forward Spirit, and Sunstrike is on cooldown.
If he had Meteor invoked there instead of Sunstrike, that's probably 2 heroes dead. Because, I mean, it's only level 4 Exort, but I think it's still a lot more damage.
Yeah, he went for the Sunstrike snipe onto the Vengeful Spirit. Didn't quite find it. Fog is walking circles around his own base, so worried about this Sunstrike, but
wouldn't you
be? Yeah, Dendi not going to go for it. Fogged is A-okay.
Oh, he is going to go for it, but slightly off the mark.
Yeah, Fog was actually low enough. That would have killed him if it hit. And then he goes stands on top of it.
It's like, all right, he Sunstrike there. Win today. He can't do it again. It's like lightning will never strike twice in the same location, right?
Yeah.
Until it does. Then you're in trouble.
Well,
but as for Na'Vi, I was about to say EG. Every time I hover over Demon, I'm thinking EG. I don't know if you're like that as well.
I'm exactly like that. I almost made the same comment last game. I go over Demon, I'm like, okay, what's EG up to? I'm like, wait a second. This is Na'Vi.
Yeah, very, very confusing, but pretty entertaining nonetheless. Yeah, he's getting a Basher up, so the big late game items really start to pile up now. Funnick can work towards his site device if he'd like. Farming 2 camps now with the Shivas, although he misses the big camp, but no big deal. They'll transition very quickly into late game. Like by 30 minutes, Na'Vi will probably have all the late game items they would want, whereas generally you'll see that at like 40, 45 minutes in a normal game.
Yes, Dendi's going to have whatever he wants to go for as his big item, be it his Hex, maybe an Aghanim Scepter. Your Lifestealer already has a Basher, will have an Abyssal Blade, unless he wants to just stay on Basher and go for the Assault Cuirass. Either way, he'll have some big item picker. For EG, at best they have a BKB on Jayo and maybe a BKB in the works, or maybe complete on Troll Warlord.
There was a smoke from EG, and they tried to make their way onto this Lifestealer bottom, but they might think about going to the Roshan pit instead.
Forward Spirit's still there, though. They've got to wait for it to expire, it looks like, and it's just going to sit in the Roshan pit, because Na'Vi realized with Medallion on the Vengeful Spirit and just this Troll Warlord plus Chen, EG can Rosh so easily.
He gets revealed out. Maybe he was trying to backstab Funnick, but thinks better of it. The call from EG is let's back up. They have snuck Fear as well as MSS into the pit.
Fog wants to Medallion.
Wave of Terror comes there.
Na'Vi see that Wave of Terror happen. They should probably know that Roshan's going on. Doesn't look like they know yet, because Demon's killing Ancients.
Yeah, I don't know if they really are in position to contest this. Darkseer, without Funnick there, this becomes a very hard fight.
I think it's safer just to give away Roshan. There's no real... It's no real problem for Na'Vi to be fighting 5v6, essentially, with an Aegis, because once they have their big items on Lifesteal as well as Invoker, they're looking fine. Dendi's going for a Blink Dagger.
This is so greedy right now. They just finished Rose, and he goes back in to kill off the last dragon instead of TPing out. Now he's going to walk right back down, but he has been spotted out by an EG ward now. And
doesn't matter.
The pings come out, but he's going to skirt away from that. And Dendi, well, he's gone for the better split pushing build. Boots of Travel, Blink Dagger, but that's a lot of gold that could have been working towards a Scythe Device, a Yule Scepter. So they're angling just for like the super mobile like pick-off lineup.
Super mobile. At the same time, this kind of forces Na'Vi to maybe farm for a bit longer, because
because now he needs another item to really fight.
Yeah, he needs either a Hex or the Aghanim Scepter, I'd say, before he can fight. Well, maybe a Yule's.
Could be the vehicle for the Lifestealer bombs if you want, but it's a very, very fragile vehicle that they're working with here. Out comes your Tornado. Behold the meatball. Straight on the 2. Ice Wall deployed as well, but where's Funnick in the midst of this? Now Demon going in. They pop the Aegis instantaneously. Now 2 heroes trapped in the Cogs community reverse. They get back into the wall. EG forced to retreat out, and now MSS. He's pulled up. He's still being gripped from long range. Demon charging in. He gets netted, but he's still got an infest. He'll pop in. He can pop right back out and go back to work. Surprise! It's me, Demon, but he's got trapped in the cogs. He's in a bit of trouble. Dendy blinking in. He also lands on the cogs. Not the ideal landing spot. He's in a bit of trouble too. Navi going ham in this fight, and EG still hanging on. One more vacuum from Funnick. I think the Shivas is about to cool down. It is. Funnick basically blows them up. Puppy with the big Crystal Maiden ult, and then a buyback from Demon. A bit of a celebratory one at that. All of a sudden, Navi, this game all but over.
That was Demon saying, hey Navi, you want to see how you throw? And Funnick's like, no, I don't know how.
I just win games.
Funnick's like, no, bro, I don't know what throwing is. Demon did his best EG impression there, but not quite. Nah, Demon played that fight fine, I think. But that was
that was not
it looked
really
bad for
Navi.
It was actually like Demon went in, he got caught out. Invoker, I mean, that was a great ice wall that Dendy blinked into, but he's so squishy. Like,
and then he got a bit unlucky. He blinked in right as the cogs got dropped and bounced off the cogs. Ended up taking a lot of damage and dying, but he got off all his big spells.
Yeah.
Well, Puppy, he'll be the straggler here. It's a cleanup kill for EG, but small consolation after losing such a massive fight.
Yep. And Navi just back off, get a couple more items up. Refresher orb coming soon on a Darkseer near you.
Oh, I was looking at Dendy because we have seen his Refresher Invoker before, but no.
You kind of want the
This is even worse. This is double Shivas, double vacuum, double wall. I don't know if he's the mana for everything though. That's 800 plus another 380.
Yeah, the hero has very high base intelligence.
Well, he'll have double Soul Rain as well.
Oh yeah,
to help give him the mana. So I think he'll have it. And they're going for a blink, or not a blink, but rather a surge and fest bomb, charging right into Fog. Does he get off any spells in time? Shiva's deployed. Out pops Demon, quickly kills them off. They get back right out of the cogs. Universe, he tried to run, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and the hunt is now on. Universe sent back home, but Dendy blinks forward. Then he drops an ice wall. It catches out too. He's angling here for a tornado, I imagine. No, just a deafening blast. Fear back, driven out. Now MSS onwards and upwards, gripped up and brought down. EG losing 4, and Navi, they are just out of control at this point.
Yeah, what a fight coming out from Navi. They catch 4 here. EG, they seek a Roshan early. It just does not matter. Navi is just getting too much farm and too much out of these team fights. Their hero composition is just overwhelming EG right now.
Yeah, Navi, even with the stand-ins throughout a few of the games today, it was enough for them to struggle against Liquid, plus Liquid played fantastically. EG showed promise in Game 1, but just not quite the killer instinct we saw from their North American compatriots in Team Liquid. And now, well, they're marching for the high ground. They're looking for their first lane of Rax. They're looking for this win, and if they win it, they move right into the playoffs. Empire is awaiting. Navi, one lane of Rax about to fall. Can EG even hope to defend this? They gotta try, but fighting into Darks here with so many items is very tough. Demon, well, he does actually TP out. He's gone from this fight back to the well, so they fight without him. Doesn't even matter. Meteor, wall, deafening blast, vacuum, and everything else on top of it all. But they've lost Funnick without the lifestealer. The damage is lacking. Now they all must retreat. Head for the hills, Puppy. Oh, he ain't running. He's going down too. They've lost 2 in the end, and they actually bought back on the Bane, so they lost 3 there.
Funnick buys his Refresher Orb before dying down. It's a bad overextension from Navi, but not a costly one. EG are not going to get enough out of this turnaround.
And they didn't kill the Lifestealer, who almost doesn't have
what are you doing, man?
Well, he just popped back here. He might end up giving up a kill. Maybe Demon's rubbing off here on Navi. Karoki's going to go down. Gods, you were joking, but this is not a throw yet. But
Funnick
you keep it up, and soon it... that's the thing about throws. They kind of sneak up on you. It's like, oh, we're 50,000 gold ahead. We can afford to die a few times. And next thing you know, you're losing. You're like, what the hell just happened, guys?
Next thing you know, there's a website named after you.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Dendy building towards his Aghanim Scepter. He's got it in 400 gold, so then we look towards those big AoE combos getting even more devastating, and, well, Abyssal Blade on Demon. So Navi, the item pickups suddenly get a lot scarier. Refresher Orb, Abyssal Blade, and Aghanim Scepter soon on Dendy.
Yeah, what's funny is he's the one who didn't overextend bottom. He said, I'm getting the hell out of here. TP's away, is going to end up living. And now he's got the big items to show for it. So, well, for EG, the next thing they need is the BKBs, and they need them desperately against the Darkseer as well as the Invoker. Like, those two alone, I almost want to say EG could stand to have 4 or 5 BKBs. Not on the Chen, but on pretty much everyone else. And they're building for at least 3 here, but can they get them up in time? The way Navi's playing, I think they'll give them time and space to farm these. One comes out now on your Razor, and
2.
give them 2. 3, not too far off.
Yeah, Clockwork, has he got any of the pieces? Okay, Clockwork still needs Mithril Hammer as well as the recipe.
So he needs like 2,700 here.
In enemy lines here. I don't think there's any detection.
Oh, he can kill Puppy.
Well,
Got a hook available.
Puppy's got teammates very nearby.
Actually, Puppy has drums as well.
You do not want to go for this kill. These teammates are in
and
blink
he's
range.
seen the teammates now, so I think he's just going to run the hell away.
There's a Blink Invoker. Actually, sorry, Invoker. Yeah, okay, that's Lifesteal Redemption, so... Yeah, Universe going to just hide, should TP out.
Reminds me of Demon when, like, EG would be losing games where, you know, he'd just go for, like, he'd just kind of wander around trying to find, like, a sneaky way to get a pick off, but Universe, those guerrilla tactics not going to work too well here.
Yeah. Okay, so Na'Vi just deciding to group up, maybe go for a bottom lane push here. Demon making his way towards the bottom lane, and I think Na'Vi not wanting to take this much longer. They don't want to go late game. Dendy's got his Aghanim Scepter. It's still at base, so maybe they just try and wait for that one to come, but they are grouping up here, ready to go for a push.
Universe fires out a rocket. Na'Vi probably a little confused as to why it came from directly behind their team, but they won't bother to worry about that too much. They'll just go straight up onto the high ground. 2 Forward Spirits in the front lines. Dendy now with Max Exhort. This is where now you start leveling up your Wex, and you get like 4 or 5 points in this, and Invoker becomes... It's like he goes into Super Saiyan mode, basically.
Yeah.
Reaches that extra level of dominance and utility.
Well, more keyboard issues for EG.
Don't they have a sponsor for this?
I'm not sure.
This is... I gotta tell you, this is not good for SteelSeries or Razer.
They need to get on those Logitech keyboards, man.
Are we sponsored by Logitech?
WePlay is sponsored by Logitech.
Oh, okay.
So
there we go. That was smooth of me. There you go.
Once we start,
Yeah. Logitech G Series.
Big thanks to all the WePlay sponsors. I mean that in all seriousness.
Yeah, they've given us this awesome tournament.
Yeah.
So. And apparently for Season 3, we played some big plans in store. I don't think we're allowed to talk about it too much, but...
I didn't know there was a Season 3 plan.
Well, they're talking about it.
Okay.
Nothing confirmed.
You're talking about it.
I'm talking about it now. Based on the way this season's going, I imagine there'll be another one. But we're back inside the game. No tricks. Demon having a little friendly chit-chat now. He's plotting a course towards that middle lane. Perhaps. No puppy pauses allowed.
No today.
I don't think they need puppy pauses right now.
No. Well, maybe EG do.
You save those for when you need them, you know. That's not something you just throw cavalierly. But meanwhile, it is a bit of shenanigans from EG. They're wrapping around, going for the backstab here. In comes MSS. He's trying to set them up, but he just gets focused by Demon and immediately drops to low HP. Universe hooks in, but all he's trapped is his teammate here. Denny says, great. Now it's time for my setup. Meteor rolls through. Deafening Blast bringing them both low, not killing them off just yet. On the backside, Demon ends up getting 1 kill. They're going to find more. They all explode in a cloud of blood. Funnick, he's dropped his combo once. Is he going to do it again? Refresher still online. Fear. Well, it's one last hurrah. They'll get another vacuum up. Another Shivas. The all chat from Fear. He knows it's over. It's just having a few last laps before EG's run ends. And their run ends here, God.
EG did have a decent run here. I was hoping we'd get to see them up against Liquid because we never actually got that matchup in this group. But that's as a result of Liquid winning this group, beating Na'Vi. So big shout out to Liquid for that. But Na'Vi right now, they had to turn things around after a bad game 1. But they win the series 3-1, knocking EG out. EG... not good enough, not quite making that top 4.
WePlay's had an interesting pattern, well, sort of results for this stage, you could say, because in Group A, it was actually Empire who finished first, not Alliance.
Yes.
Empire looking very strong right now. And then in this group, well, Na'Vi had the stand-in issue for Liquid, so maybe you could say...
Yeah, I mean...
if they had their full 5-man roster, perhaps it's different.
Fluff said himself, like, it didn't feel like a real win versus Na'Vi.
Yeah, he even tweeted that, you know, we're not going to read too much in this win because they weren't playing with the host. And even when they were, he was having internet issues.
Yeah.
But still, Na'Vi finishing second in Group B. So,
well,
Na'Vi Alliance, will they be dethroned a bit in WePlay? That's kind of the question right now.
We go into the playoff stage and it's pretty much clean slate. So the main thing is just advancing. Whether you advance in first place or second place is a non-factor for most of these teams, especially in a double elimination format.
Right.
That's how the playoffs are going to work. So our first day of the playoffs is the day after tomorrow. We have both of our round 1 matches. The day after that, we have our next round 2 matches, or round 2 winner bracket match, as well as our round 1 loser bracket match. And then the 2 days after that, we have a best of 5 loser bracket final and a best of 5 grand finals. So we're done. Friday's the grand finals. The day before that, the loser bracket finals, and then Tuesday as well as Wednesday is your 2 first days of the playoffs. So
yeah. So not tomorrow. Tomorrow we have no games, but in 2 days' time we'll start with Liquid versus Alliance. This is on 10/22 at 18 CST, and then it looks like. They have 2 matches scheduled for the same time. I think this one should be 21 CST.
Yeah, probably.
So it should be Empire versus Na'Vi right after that. 2 best-of-3s, I think, in a row.
Yes.
And we don't move into best-of-5s until the loser bracket final and the grand final. So lots of awesome Dota coming up. By the end of this week, $25,000 in prizes will be handed out. All thanks to Logitech, Inno3D, as well as Western Digital. And we'll be
big thanks to WePlay for putting this tournament on, as always. So.
And thanks to the chat for being awesome as ever.
Yeah.
Thanks for supporting WePlay, guys, and we hope to see you soon for some more action.
Yeah, big thanks as always. If you want to support Beyond the Summit, you can click that subscribe button. At least click the follow button to follow our stream and know when we do go live. And as said, we will be going live in 2 days' time. So until then, guys, we'll see you. And I don't know. That's it.
We do have one more shout out. We have a Kickstarter subscriber that we owe a shout out to, or supporter. Sorry.
Oh yes.
This
one's
is
on you.
This is from Moritz Wimmer. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. So he says, thanks in advance that you take your precious time and read this. Also, sorry in advance for my sometimes really poor English. Please forgive me. Today, Monday, the 14th of October, after your, as always, amazing broadcast, I said in the chat that I was somewhat sad about not getting a shout-out after pledging, because I thought when I signed up that I would be getting one. Well, you do get one, which now sounds rather logical. So LD offered me that he could send me a message, and you would shout me out after your next broadcast. Anyway, here we go. I'm a proud Bavarian, state of Germany. 24 years old, love to play Chen, Scylla, Visage, Enchantress, micro player. Do a lot for school. I originally come from StarCraft 2, where I'm a mid to high master Zerg, but now love Dota 2 more than anything else in my free time. Maybe not Naomi, who is the love of my life. Aww.
That's sweet.
That's sweet. But I think he needs to get his priorities straight. Dota should always come first.
Females, yeah.
Dota, girlfriend, life.
Okay.
I am a better Zerg, Chen, carry, and support than Sebastian and Tango Boy Basti, but I really love the friends I am playing Dota on a regular basis now. That would be Peter, Max Bjorn, and Basti. Last but not least, I love big bears, not butts, and I cannot lie. Guys, if you really should do this, I will be the happiest person on earth, I believe. Thanks again, LD and Gods. You're awesome people, and I wish you the best of luck with BTS and everything in your life.
You're just making that embed up, aren't you?
And then he put a heart, and he said LD is better than Gods at casting and at life.
Okay.
That part I definitely made up. Thank you very much, Moritz, for your support, and as well as to everyone else who supported our Kickstarter, helped make this possible. You can't see all the mattress pads tacked to the wall to soundproof the room.
But the hashtag production value coming in.
Well, we're getting it done on the cheap here. But guys, thanks again for joining us. We're done now for our WePlay coverage. We'll see you tomorrow, or in 2 days.